Hey guys, Benny the Bendy here, and today I will be talking about and teaching you about the NASCAR drivers in the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series. And today you'll be learning about every driver racing at Pocono next weekend. We will also be learning about history of Pocono and about the NASCAR drivers. So sit back, grab your favorite snack, and enjoy. The first driver we will be talking about today is, of course, the driver that won Pocono last year before being disqualified, Denny Hamlin. Basically, this is what happened. Denny Hamlin won, and Kyle Busch got second, but Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch both got disqualified, and we'll get to who won in a little while. But last year at Pocono, Denny Hamlin won. Denny Hamlin, 49 career wins, and the best driver in NASCAR history, I think, to never win a championship. Denny Hamlin's had an amazing career, one of my top drivers, and has FedEx as its sponsor. Last year's Pocono race, he was most famous for crashing Ross Chastain, and that is likely how he wound up winning before being disqualified. He was disqualified because of inspection. So far, Denny Hamlin has won one race in 2023. This driver is my personal favorite driver in NASCAR, Kyle Larson. I remember the first race I've ever gone to, Pocono. He was doing great. Final turn, and I picked him as my favorite before I went to this race. Final turn, he was about to win it, and you can see on the video right here, crashes into turn 3, and Alex Bowman winds up taking the race. However, Kyle Larson then later that year, after getting 10 wins and having a comeback year after this race, he did go and win the championship, and that made up for all of it. Kyle Larson is a one-time champion, and he won the 2021 championship. So far in 2023, he's won 2 races, looking to win his third, but having a great season so far. So go Larson. William Byron, so far in 2023, an amazing season with 4 wins, most recent coming from the race in Atlanta, but an amazing leader in points. He is a big-time championship contender, and 2 years ago at Pocono, placing 3rd place. He drives the 24 car, replacing the famous Jeff Gordon. For all the Boy Scouts watching, William Byron is the only NASCAR driver to also be a Boy Scout. And not even that, he was an Eagle Scout. William Byron is just in the beginning of his career and is gonna be a big name in the future of NASCAR. Kyle Busch has done amazing all the years I've gone to Pocono. He's always found his way into the conversation. He won the second race of 2021 at Pocono, and he's just always been up there. I'm sure this weekend he will be a name at Pocono. Kyle Busch is most famous for his M&M sponsor, his 2 NASCAR Cup Series championships in 2015 and 2019, and his 61 NASCAR Cup Series wins. So far in 2023, he has won 3 races and hungry for more to come. Ross Chastain, watermelon farmer. Last year, his first year at Trackhouse Racing, and boy, did he show up. Last year, he won 2 races. He still has never won a championship, but placing in 2nd in 2022 in his first year on a new team. 2nd year in the Cup Series. Would have won 3 races last year if it wasn't for Denny Hamlin ruining his chances, but still a great season for Ross Chastain, one of my favorite drivers in the Cup Series. So far in 2023, he has only won a race, but been up there for most and up there in the points. He is most famous for his watermelon smashes after he wins the race, and of course for the watermelon move at the end of Martinsville in 2022 to make his way into the championship 4. Next is Chase Elliott. If you have not seen E.T., you probably don't get that joke, but Chase Elliott, 5-time winner last season, yet to win a race in 2023, but that mainly is because of his ski accident. But the 2020 Cup Series champion, NASCAR's most popular driver, he is hungry for a win. and is last year's winner at Pocono. That is because he won at Pocono last year, not because he actually won. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch got disqualified, and he won by default. Chase Elliott, the defending winner at Pocono, will he win it 2 times in a row? Well, let's wait. Next, we've got Joey Logano, the 22, and the driver for Penske Racing. The defending NASCAR Cup Series champion and 2-time champion Joey Logano, only to win 1 race so far at Atlanta in 2023, has been struggling more lately, but is a great driver overall and is always up there at Pocono. This is one of my favorite drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. From day one, was my second favorite driver after Larson, and a 2-time champion. How about that? And here it is, Alex Bowman. You know, I mentioned it earlier, famous for winning the first ever race I have ever gone to, I've ever watched. Yes, final corner. Kyle Larson crashes into the side, as you see it on the screen, and Bowman would win. Since then, however, he's only won 2 NASCAR Cup Series wins, and that's it. He has been struggling all of 2022 and 2023, only winning 1 race in that time span, and beginning of 2022 at Vegas. And will he bounce back at Pocono? Maybe, but not likely. 0 wins in 2023, but taking over in the 48 for the famous Jimmy Johnson. Martin Truex Jr. 2 wins in 2023 so far after a 50-something race winless streak, but he is back winning a bunch of them, and 2 wins so far in 2023. At Pocono, his stats have not been great, but the 2017 NASCAR Cup Series champion back then in the 78, and one of the best drivers to winless in 2022 and not making the playoffs in 2023 with 2 wins, trying to make the playoffs. Will he get win 3 at Pocono? Eric Jones in 2023 has been terrible, 0 wins, but in 2022 getting that 1 win in the playoffs, so it didn't really count, but it counts, it's a win, and that's all that matters. Eric Jones did good at Pocono last year, will he do again? I don't know, but overall he's had an average career. He also drives the famous 43 once drove by Richard Petty. AJ Allmendinger, he has not won a race in 3 years, I think, but last win at Indy Road Course the first year. He is a driver I've always rooted for, my dad's personal favorite. Allmendinger finds himself in the top of the most randomest races at the randomest times, but he's able to get it done when it needs to be done. He is on the ender part of his career, but AJ Allmendinger, always a guy to root for. This is his first full season in the Cup Series for years. He also has raced in the past in IndyCar and in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Eric Almirola drives number 10 for Stewart House Racing. His last win was back in 2021 at New Hampshire. He has not been able to win since, but has always found his way up there. He is towards the end of his career, and a guy that I've always rooted for. My friend has met him before, and he is a dark horse for Pocono, but who knows? Maybe before he retires, he will win another race. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., as you know, the 2023 Daytona 500 champion, and what a race that was. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I think he's won 3 career races, all at super speedways, but first one like 5 years or something like that. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr., always a guy to root for. He was up there at Pocono last year, but never able to pull it off. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., how many more Daytona 500s will he win? Let's keep it going with Daytona 500 champions. The 2022 Daytona 500 champion, Austin Cindric, and he has still only won that 1 career race, but in his first start, Daytona 500 champion, last year at Pocono, he is famous for crashing. It was right in front of where I was sitting, and it looked like it hurt, but Austin Cindric, one day he will be up there as a top driver, but for now, he is still learning and has a long career ahead of him. He is on Team Penske and drives there because of his connections of his dad, which also works at Team Penske but in IndyCar. An interesting career for Bubba Wallace as being one of the top drivers, the top guy for 2311, only 2 career wins, but one day he will be up there famous for driving the sponsor of McDonald's. No wins yet in 2023, but a few second and top 5 finishes this year so far. Now Tyler Reddick, the road course champion. Last year at Pocono, he got second place. Still young in his career with only 4 career wins in 2023. He has won a race, but looking good. And Tyler Reddick, second in Pocono last year. Who knows, if Chase Elliott got disqualified, he would have won. Next up, you could see paint scheme identical to Reddick, Ty Gibbs, and you may recognize the last name because the reason why he's gotten into this sport is because of his grandfather, Joe Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, the 2022 Xfinity Series champion at only 19 years old, looking to win his Rookie of the Year. He's gotten top finishes, no wins yet, but best rookie so far, and he is a promise for future of the sport. Drives a 54 for no surprise for his grandfather, Joe Gibbs Racing. He could be up there at Pocono, getting past the last lap by Gregson in the Xfinity Series. And now let's bring that to the next driver, Noah Gragson. Xfinity Series, he was not the champion, came in second. However, he won 25% of the races in the Xfinity Series in 2022. So far in NASCAR, he has struggled a ton. I'm sure he hasn't even gotten a top 15 finish yet, but who knows? Pocono, I think that could be a place. He won that in Xfinity last year, but who knows? Maybe he'll do it again, but this time in the Cup Series. 0 wins so far in 2023 of his rookie season. This driver, one of my personal favorites, and that is because in 2022 of the summer, I've met this guy. No, not at a race, not at Pocono. Nope. I met him at Wildwood, New Jersey when I was on vacation. It was pretty cool, and yes, Austin Dillon. He drives the number 3 for Dale Earnhardt, and it's pretty cool. He has not won, but when he has won races, including Daytona last year, thanks to this crash, the only car to make it out, which was pretty epic. It's a celebration for that team. This year, with his new teammate Kyle Busch, puts Dillon's odds up to win in 2023. Chase Briscoe shined a little bit in the beginning of 2022, but at the beginning of his career, still getting used to driving, winning at Phoenix last year, still zilch wins in 2023. That crash right there basically shows his whole 2023 season. Of course, taking over for the famous Tony Stewart and Clint Boyer in the number 14. And let's wait to see how his career turns out. Maybe a win in his future. Coming soon. Justin Haley's second season driving for Colleague. Still 0 wins. He has won a race once. It was a lane race, but it was a race. And almost winning Chicago. He didn't, but so far he has not had a great career. But one day, I tell ya, I'm going to see this guy winning championships. Maybe not in the 31 on a better team, but you could see from right here, he can compete for race wins. This guy has a future in NASCAR, and that is why I think he'll be up there in Pocono. If he wins Pocono, I think it'll be because of bad weather, but hopefully not. Harrison Burton, a young driver, second year, and he has been struggling. Of course, driving for the famous Wood Brothers Racing, but let's see. He did get a top spot at Pocono last year for a few laps, led a few laps, maybe at Pocono this year. He can do the same thing. You could see right there, Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 champion. He has had a long, rough career. That is his most recent NASCAR Cup Series win. Has looked promising more recently in NASCAR. Ryan Blaney, you could see right up here at Pocono in 2022. He crashed hard right in front. He was competing in the race. He probably could have won this race even because of the disqualifications. He was that far up. But Ryan Blaney crashing very hard right in front of me. He also, before this year, had a long 50-list win streak. Before then, after 50-list wins, he did win the Coca-Cola 600, had a clean race in that. No crashes for him, and led like most of the race, which is pretty impressive. Yet to win a championship, probably the second guy on Team Penske, and has always been there. Ryan Blaney, a guy to look out for at Pocono. Christopher Bell, most famous last year for his 1 to the Final Four. And wow, it was impressive. He has so far in 2023 has won a race and Bristol Dirt. He also did great on the first ever street course before that crash that ruined it for him. But Christopher Bell, guy, he did good at Pocono last year, a guy to look out for. And Joe Gibbs Racing, he looks like the future of that team with Ty Gibbs. Joe Gibbs Racing, I should have mentioned, also always a threat to win it at Pocono. Next up, we've got Corey LaJoie, and Corey LaJoie's had a blur of a career. Not really that good yet, but he has a promising future. He is right now drives for Spike Motorsports in the number 7, but gonna be hired to a new team hopefully soon. He has had almost some lucky race wins, mainly in Atlanta before crashing, but this guy gotta get a win some point soon, right? Because he has had a long struggling career, and a guy that I think in NASCAR deserves to win more than any other driver left in the sport. Daniel Suarez, the other driver for Trackhouse Racing. Probably one of the nicest drivers in NASCAR.
It's a piñata, that's what it is. We talked at dinner about what did he want to do, what kind of celebration did he want to do.
For years. He's always been up there in races and drives a 99 right now for Trackhouse Racing with his teammate, of course, Ross Chastain, a driver I've always rooted for, mainly because of teammates with Ross Chastain. He is the only NASCAR driver not from America, as he is Mexican. He is still winless in 2023, but has one career win in 2022. He has been in the Cup Series for years and trying to look to win more very soon. Kevin Harvick, the number 4 in Stewart's House Racing. In his final season, he is one of the best drivers in NASCAR history, the 2014 NASCAR Cup Series champion with over 60 NASCAR wins. He is yet to win in 2023, but this is Kevin Harvick's final NASCAR season. And will he win his final race at Pocono? He is most famous for sweeping Pocono a few years ago, back in 2020. Brad Keselowski, one of the best NASCAR drivers left. A few years ago, he left Team Penske to go to whatever it's RFK Racing, RF now RFK Racing, as he co-owns it. Brad Keselowski, a driver hungry. He has not won since he's left Team Penske in 2021, now drives the number 6. Will he win this time? He almost won in Atlanta, a heartbreaker last lap pass by Joey Logano. But will it be the time for Brad Keselowski? He has won in Pocono before. He is a one-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and looking to get one more before he retires. For the last driver today, I got you Chris Buescher. And Chris Buescher, he won a race last year, winless so far this year, but
two more
he has had
turns
an on and off
for the Bass Pro Shops night race. Chris Buescher will win his second Cup Series race, and it happens in Bristol.
Still needs to win more races. He has won Pocono before. Back in 2016, it was a early end of race due to weather. Will he win at Pocono again because of that, or will he actually go out and win? I think maybe he can. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. It was fun to make, and I want you to do something for me. Who is your favorite NASCAR driver out of all of these? Comment that down below. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more of this, like and subscribe. I also want to know from you who you think is going to win Pocono. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Benny the Bendy, out.